Okay, hang on. Where are we? Oh, there we are. My goodness. My apologies, y'all. I was looking for the post on Facebook to be able to share it out. There it is. Okay. My apologies. Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to what day is this? It's Tuesday. All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Sorry, I'm putting on my socks. Just getting ready getting ready as we begin the show here today. Parishbuilt.com, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. I'll make sure all of our sponsors are pinned or linked, excuse me. Y'all, getting back into the flow of life back home. Let's just say that. Anyway, hold on, I need to turn on the fan. It's hot. Okay. Rip roaring start, y'all. How about that? Let me try this again. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, Unique Physique, and Restored Motions. I'll make sure that all of our sponsors are linked in the description and tagged on Facebook. So thank you all for being here. Got in last night. We left Vegas noon Vegas time. Let me rephrase that. We boarded the plane 11:30 Vegas time with a scheduled noon departure. And apparently, which I guess this makes sense. Apparently, Labor Day is a really busy travel day in Las Vegas. So we ended up sitting on the plane waiting to take off for like an hour and a half. That really sucked. So didn't actually get back home, like to our house, to like 7:30 last night, local time here in Baton Rouge. So yeah, at one point they came on the PA on the plane and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, the air traffic controllers just informed us we're 41st in line for takeoff. So they make that announcement. So I'm like, oh God. So I get up, I'm like, I gotta pee. So like if it's 41 planes, I mean, think about a minute per plane or 2 minutes per plane to take off, whatever it is. We're gonna be here 45 minutes, hour and a half, whatever it is. So I get up, I'm like, I gotta go pee. I'm not gonna sit here for an hour and a half till we get in the air, whatever. So I walk up to the front to go pee, and the stewardess is like, or the flight attendant is like, you have to go sit down. I'm like, we're literally not moving. You just said we're on this runway for 41 planes to go. Like, I just have to pee. I'll be 30 seconds. And she's like, we're in a taxiing pattern. Federal law mandates you have to sit down with your seatbelt. I'm like, well, can you give me a bucket to go pee in then if I got to go sit down? So I had to go hold it for like an hour and a half till we took off. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so I'm like, can common sense just reign supreme here for a second? And then apparently the flight attendant called to the captain to see if I could go. And he's like, no, because if we start moving, then we have to go. If we're ready to move, then we have to go to the back of the line if he's still up. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like 30 seconds? Can you give me 30 seconds? Anyway, but it's all good. We got home safely, easy flight. And now here we are. Okay, so it's Tuesday. So this is normally like a Monday. So as far as LSU's game week and all that sort of stuff. So Brian Kelly meets with the media today. Yesterday was Labor Day. They didn't have the media availability. So Brian Kelly has his press conference today at noon. So look forward to hear what Brian Kelly has to say after the loss and as they start to get ready for Nichols this weekend coming into Baton Rouge. A game that LSU obviously is going to win. They'll be favored by a bajillion. And if you haven't heard Locked On yet, I'm not going to delve all the way into this. I'll just suggest that you go listen to my Locked On podcast that published today. I went into a lot of detail about execution versus coaching decisions because that was the big story among LSU fans in Vegas. And then, flying home yesterday, I mean, everyone I talked to were they too conservative? Should they have opened it up more? Do you blame coaching? Do you blame execution? Brian Kelly blaming players? That was all the conversation. So I went deep dive into that. Here's what I will say that I think maybe is relevant. When you look at the next month for LSU, the next 4 weeks, you're not going to play a game where you're really going to be challenged. Let me say you shouldn't be challenged in any of the next 4 games. You're playing Nichols this week, which of course is an FCS opponent. Then you go to South Carolina. If you missed it, South Carolina played Old Dominion this past week at home and won 23-19. Their offense is absolutely atrocious. UCLA played at Hawaii week 1 and won 16-13. They were trailing, needed 2 fourth-quarter field goals to tie it, then a field goal with under a minute to play to take the 16-13 lead to beat Hawaii. Then you play South Alabama. South Alabama lost their opener at home to North Texas 52-38. I'll say that again slowly. South Alabama lost 52-38 on their home field against North Texas. Those are your next 4 opponents. Then you get an open date before you host Ole Miss. You'll be 4-1 going into your open date. Use the next month to get better in every phase. And then go into your open date, use 2 weeks to prepare for Ole Miss, play your best game, win that game at home. And if you do, then all of a sudden the second half of your schedule takes on completely new meaning. Because then if you can go 5-1 in the second half of your schedule, you're 10-2, you're 7-1 in the conference, you're probably in the SEC championship game. I'm not telling you I think this is going to happen, but I'm telling you there's a path to it. They made it complicated by losing to USC, but there's a path to it. If you can use this next month to get really right and play your best game against Ole Miss. Okay. Also, Saints linebacker Willie Gay was absent from practice on Monday. It's game week for the New Orleans Saints. Of course, they host the Carolina Panthers Sunday in the Superdome, noon Central on Fox. Looking forward to that one, if for nothing else, because I'm not sure that I think the Saints are going to have really a great start, but they can win that game in the Dome in week 1. So here's hoping they go get it. Dennis Allen said after practice, Willie Gay, his absence was injury related. Didn't specify. Of course, we'll have an injury report on Wednesday, so we'll know what the early injury designation is for Willie Gay. But hopefully he's back out there today. We'll see. Of course, you can read about it all at louisianasports.net. Okay, let's say some good morning, y'all. Tim Gotro, Trivia Carter, good morning. Nuss equals Derek Carr. Trivia. Here's the thing. I'll push back tremendously on that. The contention about Derek Carr is that you have a decade worth of a sample size of him in the NFL to know what he is. To say you know anything definitively about what Garrett Nussmeier is as a college quarterback or what he projects as an NFL quarterback is absurdly premature. So, no, I completely disagree with you on that. He's made 2 career starts, and in both of them, he's thrown for over 300 yards. And you could say emperor of empty yards. It wasn't the case against Wisconsin. I mean, you won that game because Garrett Nussmeier led a 98-yard game-winning touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. Let's let this thing play out. Kelly Gross, Jacob Thompson. How was the flight back? Talked about that a little bit. Hey, Lucy. Good to see you. Got to see Lucy in Las Vegas. We're walking in our seats, and she told me hello. Hadn't seen Lucy since the SEC championship game in 2022 out in Atlanta. I got to meet her at the pregame, what do you call it? The fanfare, the SEC fanfare. But yeah, it was great to see you, Lucy. Wish we'd had a better result. Sorry, read that one. Hey, Juan, what's going on, man? Good to see you as always, man. I know it was brief. It was just a hello, but good to see you. Let's see. Should Verge schedule week 0? I hear Connor Stallions is available. So the week 0 thing, yes. They tried to do it last year, but couldn't make it work with Grambling. And next year you play Clemson. So yes, go schedule a week 0 game before Clemson. Now the challenge is you don't get to just schedule a week 0 game. So week 0 in college football Um, it's like if you play an international game, um, okay, an institution that is scheduled to play a regular season game in Hawaii may play its first permissible contest with outside competition on the Saturday prior to the Thursday preceding Labor Day. If the institution's first opponent of the season is not a member institution located in Hawaii, the institution's first opponent of the season may also play its first contest with outside competition on the Saturday prior to the Thursday preceding Labor Day. So apparently, like, it all has to do with that. Like, Hawaii or Florida State playing whenever they played in Ireland. Um, so I don't know, man. I don't know how you make that work. Some exemption, whatever. But ultimately, like, I wouldn't even like 5 straight losses in opener stinks. But really, you look at the 3 under Brian Kelly. And I mean, that's a trend. Like, you're not good in these games. So stop putting yourself at a disadvantage. Abner Neal, good morning. Bailey C. BK slammed the table because 9-3 is good enough at Notre Dame, and they had a big win this weekend. I don't think that had anything to do whatsoever with Notre Dame. I think he was frustrated, and rightfully so, with himself, with his team, with everybody. I mean, that's a game you should have won. It's a game you should have won. There's no sugarcoating that. Leon, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Randall, people comparing Nuss to Jaden Daniels is crazy. Jaden Daniels is gone. Move on. Who's comparing Garrett Nussmeyer to Jaden Daniels? I mean, I haven't heard that at all. Christian, good morning, man. Glad you're finally back. Made it safe. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate it, man. Marcus, good morning. Sucks about the outcome of the game, but I got to meet you, take a picture. Your shoe game is sick. Go Tigers. Good to see you, Marcus. Thanks for saying hello, man. I got to meet a lot of LSU fans, a lot of listeners and viewers, and is very humbling and grateful. Very cool to always get to put a face with the name and to hear nice things about people who like the show and listen and all that stuff and watch. So thank you so much, man. Marcus, it's great to meet you, and good to see Juan and Lucy. And one of the great things about getting to go do shows on the road like that is get to meet so many of the people that do listen and watch, which is really cool for me. So thank you very much for all the kind words. Cliff, what's going on? Extra day here in LA. So did you go? I know I got to get back. So I saw Cliff briefly in Vegas. So Cliff, you went LA, drove to Vegas, drove back to LA, and now flying home. Whew. A lot of travel, man. The things we do for our teams. The Vegas trip was great, man. I mean, we had a lot of fun. LSU fans showed up in a big way. No surprise. Familiar refrain, though, man. Great trip until the game. Brian Wynn, good morning. Cliff, Team Drew, thank you, man. Fish, what's good, man? Good morning. Eric, good. I got to meet Eric this weekend as well. Literally, I mean, we're after a long day on game day, post-game whiskey and wine, all that stuff. We're walking to our Uber, and Eric was at a table. I guess it was a restaurant bar or something like that to the left, right by the door, and said hello. And so, I mean, literally the last person I got to see of the day before I went back to the hotel, and I went and did Locked On. So great to meet you and family, friends, everybody. That's right. And Cliff walked out too. That's right. Cliff got to meet Eric too. That's right. Morning Sconers coming together. Weston, good morning, Matt. Biggest concern by position now that you've seen the output, what do you think is LSU's biggest weakness? Oh, it's the secondary still. I mean, you allowed nearly 400 yards passing, and you allowed 4 plays of 15 yards or more. That's air yards. So when the ball traveled in the air 15 yards or more, they were 5 for 6. When the ball traveled 15 yards in the air or more, they were 5 for 6. So You had a PI against Sage Ryan. You had a PI against PJ Woodland. The PI against Sage was in the end zone, so put the ball at the 2-yard line. That set up their first touchdown. So, I mean, I don't even think that's debatable at this point. Come on down, DJ Pickett. Hunter Eilers, good morning. Very pleased and hopeful with the defense. It goes to show you what the standard was, that you give up 450 yards, whatever it was, but again, you allowed 27 points. And last year in your 3 losses, you allowed an average of 48 points per game in your 3 losses. To give up 27 and lose stings, because that's a game you should have won. Tiger Diver, what's going on, man? Andy Whitaker, it took Kirby 6 years. Georgia got blown out by LSU in Kirby's 3rd and 4th year. People need to be patient. Good morning. Great perspective, Andy. Great perspective. People aren't used to being patient, but the other thing too is I did an interview, by the way, y'all can check it out on last night on Locked On College Football with Spencer McLaughlin, and he was asking me about Brian Kelly's hot seat temperature, and I emphatically told him there is no heat whatsoever on Brian Kelly's seat, because for better or worse, LSU and Brian Kelly are financially joined because of that contract for a decade. So the good news for Brian Kelly is he's got time, because they're not going to fire him, because LSU can't afford that buyout. So for better or worse, Brian Kelly is the guy, and he's going to have time to figure it out. Jeremy Causey, offensive play calling and running scheme left a lot to be desired. Jeremy, I want you to go listen. I want you to go listen to Locked On LSU today. I want you to do that. Find 20 minutes and go listen. Even if you don't listen to the whole thing, listen to the first 2 segments today, because I understand your point and why the feeling is, because that's something a lot of LSU fans felt, and I fundamentally disagree with it when you actually break it down, which I did. When I thought there was a great variety of play call, 10 different players caught a pass. Kyron Lacey was literally a foot away from having 2 touchdown receptions in the first half. People have talked about the 3rd and 1 where John Emery got hit for a loss, which you forget is how that sequence started after the Major Burns penalty. They dialed up pressure. A pressure look, tackled Emery for a 5-yard loss on 1st down on 2nd and 14. Kamorian Pimpton for 2nd and 15. Kamorian Pimpton for 14 yards. Now it's 3rd and 1. Go watch the play. They handed the ball off to John Emery. Hole was there. You had the right back, fresh legs, who was running hard. Pimpton stayed in the game at tight end on the right side. The defensive end came right underneath him. Missed the block. Got John Emery crushed. If Pimpton holds up his guy, you convert the 1st down there, you burn at least 2 more minutes off the clock. Who knows? Maybe you put together a game-winning drive. I disagree with the idea. Even the last drive where LSU kicked the tying field goal, the first 6-7 plays were alternate run, pass, run, pass, run. I mean, they were completely keeping USC off balance, went right down the field. And the play that was set up to score was the little throw in the flat to Aaron Anderson, which was probably the worst throw of the day for Nuss. Maybe the only throw he actually missed all day. And if he completes it, Aaron Anderson might score. So I just disagree, man. I think there's a combination of blame from coaching, from execution, all of it to go around. To just say running scheme, play calling left a lot to be desired, I just disagree. You put up over 400 yards, you threw for 300, you ran for almost 120, 4.5 yards a carry. You moved the ball up and down the field. Like you had 4 red zone possessions. You scored on 3 of the 4. You didn't get points on the first possession. That's coaching. And then, stalling out on the drive where you kicked the field goal at the end of the game was a Nuss missed a pass. I mean, you went right down the field. So you had a 41-yard completion to Aaron Anderson on that drive. I mean, I just don't know. I just disagree. I disagree. Guy Brooks, good morning. Great recap of the game. Disappointing we couldn't close it out in the last drive. Brad, good morning. Have you seen next week's slate of games? More cupcakes in week one? Yeah. Until you get into the start of conference play, that's how it looks, and it's unfortunate. Elijah, good morning. What time is Brian Kelly? Yeah, noon. So that's the usual Monday press conference at noon. That they don't do it on Labor Day, so they do it on Tuesday. This is the only week it'll be on Tuesday, but noon. Dane, good morning. Don't cut them any slack in the press conference today. I mean, my question, and I'll probably get the mic for one question. It's going to be the decision to receive the kickoff. I mean, maybe I'll have something better to ask by noon. I'll certainly think about it a lot. But Patrick Berglass, morning, Matt. Where do you project the writers and coaches rank LSU after the L? Can't imagine them booting us totally out of the top 25. No pun intended. Right. No, look, you lose a close game against a top 25 team. You're not going to be out. They'll probably drop from 13 to the low teens, or like maybe, that 18, 19, 20 range is probably where they'll drop. Look at this, Tiger Creek. I was at the UCLA Hawaii game. There you go. Not a bad way to spend a college football Saturday on the island. Eric, not sure what stage of grief made me think of this, but have we not been favorites in all 5 of the opening losses? Yes, LSU has been favored in all 5 games. Quentin, morning. Saw Clyde was out 4 games on a non-football injury. Any insider info? I don't know and haven't asked. Sometimes that's illness. So, like a lot of guys that were out for COVID, right, were on the non-football injury list. So you didn't get, you're out due to a health issue that wasn't related to football. So sometimes it's illness. I don't know if he was injured doing something else, but I can ask around and see. Spurge, good morning. Benjamin Moore, morning, Matt. One of the greatest positives from the game Sunday was special teams didn't muff one punt. Actually, not only did they not muff a punt, Benjamin, like Xavier Thomas looked really good. I mean, that is a true positive from the game, is you have a return game again. As a matter of fact, on the opening kickoff of the game, I don't know if it looked like it on TV, but that was right in front of me. I mean, I was sitting on the 30-yard line, and so Xavier Thomas was coming from right to left. I mean, was tackled right in front of me, and that seam opened up, and somebody made a shoestring tackle, and but for that, he might have housed it. I mean, you have a return game again, which is really encouraging. Hey, Brent, good morning. Jason Mobile, what's going on? Is it worth exploring a buy of the Clemson series? Yes, absolutely. Now, remember, you still have to meet the Power 5 or Power 4 non-conference opponent mandate in the SEC. So I don't know that there's any other option available when this has been scheduled for so long. And honestly, and also because the return trip when Clemson comes to Baton Rouge in 2026, I would imagine that's going to be a massive financial windfall for LSU. So you don't want to give that up. But yeah, of course. Absolutely. I mean, at this point, stop putting yourself at a competitive disadvantage. I mean, if my contention has been, will always be that I want every team in the power conference to only play power conference games, 12 power conference games, or contract the schedule. Go back to 11 if you want to do that. 8 conference games, 3 non-conference games, whatever. 9 conference games, 2 non-conference games. Fine. But there has to be uniformity. Everybody has to play the same schedule. And if you're not doing that, then there's no reason to put yourself at a competitive disadvantage. I mean, you are choosing a more difficult path, which if the committee was going to say, here's the point. If the committee was going to say, we'll reward you for playing SC even if you lose, then go play that game 100 times out of 100. Give your fans something to watch, great TV product, get your guys used to playing in a big game, big environment. But effectively, what the committee has shown us over the years is a win is a win, but a loss is detrimental no matter what. Meaning, it doesn't matter if you're Ole Miss beating Furman by 70 or Miami beating Florida in the swamp. A win is a win. The loss is crippling. That's what the committee has shown us over the years. So it doesn't matter if you would have played Cal Poly or USC, and you'd beaten either of them, the win is the same. The loss is what's devastating. So until everybody plays a uniform schedule, I would not continue to put yourself at a disadvantage. Irfan Sayad, good morning. Lisa DeGrow, good morning. Have a great week. Thanks, you too. Matt, good morning. No day off. Work Sunday, Monday, making that money. Get that money, dog. Like Rihanna said, better have my money. Pay me what you want me. Rocky, what's going on? How bad are things in Tallahassee? Yes. Florida State 0-2, not only 0-2, but 0-2 in the conference after losses to Georgia Tech and Boston College. Home loss yesterday where they were just dump trucked. There was, I saw Jake Crane posted this. There's a guy on Twitter who said that if Florida State lost to Georgia Tech, he would eat well, if you haven't had your breakfast, turn it off. He would eat dog poop out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and put the video on the internet. I'm not sure I want to see that, but that guy's having a rough morning. Let's just say that. Christian, is this year's Florida State 2020 LSU reincarnated? Maybe. Michael Cook, good morning. Melody, good morning. David, had a blast in Vegas. Looking forward to LSU win this weekend. Amen. Good to see you, David. Got to see David a couple times, man. Be bobbing around this weekend. It was nice enough to come by Friday during AFR. Another opportunity to meet a morning Sconer, which I love. So appreciate everybody who said hello. Patrick, good morning. What are the odds? Both Clemson and LSU want to pull out of the home and home. I don't know. Again, the challenge is finding a replacement game. Michael Cook, great finally meeting you at Stadium Swim. All right, Michael, great to see you, man. Stadium Swim was a good time. Really had a good time there. What a cool venue that was to go watch games. So we didn't go to the big block party thing on Friday. We went on Saturday night to watch Notre Dame and A&M and all the Saturday evening games. It was really cool. Really cool. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there as always. Shout out to our all the sponsors here. Shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, you need an orthopedist. They're the best. I love the fact that the free Friday night clinic is back. They've been doing this for more than 2 decades now. Brock has been doing that since I was playing high school football, which is pretty awesome. Friday nights, they have a free clinic for any high school football player that's injured that wants to get checked out by a doctor for free. Love that. It's over at their Bluebonnet location right there, Bluebonnet Perkins. Paris Construction and Roofing, roof repairs, replacements. We love to give you that free, no obligation inspection. We have a full commercial division as well. So we'd love to help you out there at the Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Unique Physique and Restored Motions. Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide. It's the shot, the weight loss shot people have talked about. You've heard. They can do the whole consultation over telemed, and they can ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So if you want to learn more, uniquephysique.com. And, of course, Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions and restoredmotions.com. Wayne, good morning. Ryan, would love to see LSU and Tulane play. I don't think that's in the cards. It's just not financially feasible for LSU to do that. Ty Delahuse, good morning. Kobe Walker, Rex, good morning. At least we aren't FSU. Good point. Shelby thought the defense played great. If we were told LSU would hold a Lincoln Riley offense to 20 points with 20 seconds left in the game, 100% of the people would have taken that. I agree completely. Defensively, your game plan was right. You did what you had to do to keep yourself in the game, and you would have certainly thought that the LSU's offense would have played better. And they moved the ball. They just didn't affect the scoreboard the way they should have. So, bummer. All right, I got 1 minute left. Dwight, should Brian Kelly start PJ Woodland for the rest of the year? I don't know that I can go there, man. I mean, boy, they picked on PJ Woodland when he was in. He had the PI, and then also, they went right back at him the next play, and he was beaten and kind of recovered for a PBU. But I don't know that I would go there, but he's going to play a lot. Ryan Pike, I didn't see Lacey on the field in the second half. He was. Lacey was on the field in the second half. Lacey was the target on the final play before the field goal to tie it. They went to Aaron Anderson where Nuss missed in the flat, and then the next play, the third down play, was a target to Kyron Lacey. So he was on the field. Patrick Berglass, let's see, what do you think LSU's ranked? Now, yeah, I think 18 to 20 range is probably where they'll fall. Bryant seems like they haven't learned from past experience, not creative enough in fourth down plays, taking the day. I agree. Look, I agree on taking the 3 points. I yelled about that. I've yelled about that for 3 years now. I've yelled about that forever in my radio career, which is, I don't know why coaches hate points. The objective is not yards. The objective is not time of possession. The objective is not third down conversions. The objective is score more points than your opponent. When you have the opportunity to score points, you score points. And they should have taken 3 to start the game. This is in hindsight 2020. It's the same thing last year at Florida State. Take the points. Okay, y'all, I'm a minute late already, so I got to get going. My apologies for everybody that I missed. Y'all do me a favor. Please go check out today's Locked on LSU. Thrilled with how well the pod is doing. So on your favorite podcast app, Locked on LSU, or on YouTube, Locked on LSU. So please check it out. Great. The episode's up. I talk a lot about, I go into deeper conversation about coaching versus execution, the offensive play call that a lot of people have been complaining about, and sort of the path forward. So it's a lot of it's there. So please go check it out on Locked on LSU, and we'll have AFR at 3. All right, y'all have a great day. We'll see you.